Welcome back to the Skift Daily Briefing. It's Wednesday, June 10th. I'm Sarah Dandashi, and today, the U.S. just launched a pay to cut the visa line program. Apple rebuilt Siri, and travel brands need to pay attention. And meet the most influential person in travel you've actually never heard of. Let's go ahead and get into it. First up, starting July 1st, travelers who want a U.S. visa appointment within 10 business days can have one. It'll just cost them $750 on top of the standard $185 visa fee. So $935 total just to get an interview faster. The State Department is framing this as a pilot program to test demand, running through the end of the year. And they're clear, paying the fee doesn't actually guarantee that you'll get the visa. It just gets you in front of a consular officer sooner. So here's the context that makes this sting. U.S. visa appointment wait times have already averaged around 30 days, but at some overseas posts, the wait can stretch over a year. So for travelers in countries with long backlogs, this fee is essentially the only realistic path to getting to the U.S. for time-sensitive events, like, I don't know, say the World Cup that starts tomorrow. One immigration attorney called it exactly what it is, a two-tiered system. One path for people who can afford $935 and another for everyone else. And this comes on top of a growing pile of fees that the U.S. has added recently. Visa integrity fees, higher ESTA fees, national park entry fees for non-residents, and I-94 land border fees that quintupled. The message being sent to international travelers, intentionally or not, is that the U.S. is becoming a very expensive and complicated destination to visit. That's a real problem for an industry still trying to recover inbound tourism numbers from 2025. Next up, Apple held its developer conference this week and unveiled a rebuilt version of Siri. And for travel brands, there's a lot worth paying attention to here. The new Siri, which Apple is calling Siri AI, is much better at understanding personal context. It can pull information from your emails, your calendar, your apps, and what's on your screen, and connect it all together in ways that the old Siri never could. The most practical travel example, if you call an airline to change a flight, Siri can now automatically find your confirmation code in your email and display it the moment your call connects. It's a really small thing, but it is incredibly useful. The bigger demo was on Apple's Vision Pro headset. A user looked at a backpack and asked if it would work as a carry-on for their September flight. Siri recognized the bag, pulled up the flight details, and answered. Now, that kind of combination, what you're looking at plus what's in your itinerary, could eventually apply to hotel rooms, airport signs, rental cars, luggage restrictions, all of it. And for travel companies, the question isn't whether Siri can book a trip today. It can't. The question is whether Apple makes Siri useful enough that travelers start there before they open an airline app or OTA. Now, that would be a very significant shift in where the travel journey begins. And finally, Skift's Rafat Ali spent the week mapping out the influence of one person who has quietly become the most consequential figure in travel that most people have never even heard of. And his name is Ken Chenault. Here's why he matters. Chenault was CEO of American Express for 17 years. He left in 2018, and since then, he's accumulated a set of board positions that, when you connect them, form a kind of spider web across the entire travel industry. He's now chairman and managing director of General Catalyst, the firm backing the $6.3 billion take private of American Express Global Business Travel. He's lead director at Airbnb, where he sits on the committee that approved Chesky's $250 million bet on expanding into services and experiences. He chairs Built Rewards, a $10.75 billion travel loyalty fintech built on a travel portal powered by Expedia. And he sits on the governance committee at Berkshire Hathaway, which owns 22% of his former employer, American Express. Now, none of these positions individually is surprising, but together they form something unusual. One person who can broker brand license transfers, shape how Airbnb rewards its CEO, and chair a fintech that competes directly with Amex's own luxury travel product. The takeaway, in travel, which runs on relationships more than most industries admit, that kind of accumulated trust and influence matters enormously. Chenault has never spoken at Skift, never posted about the future of travel. He just quietly shapes it from the boardrooms. And it's worth knowing his name. Well, that's it for your Skift Daily Briefing. For more industry news, head to skift.com. And as always, subscribe at skift.com/daily. Thanks so much for listening.